Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to share a very good interview with an amazing Thais from Brazil who is going to share her story from being a dentist in Brazil to becoming a dental student in UCLA. She's going to share her entire application process and especially her interview in UCLA and other schools that she applied to. And if you're interested in that, keep on watching.
Hello, and thank you so much for being on my channel. I already said that kind of before, and it's weird now because we're recording it, but hello, and thank you so much. So just to start, I would really appreciate if you could introduce yourself and share a little bit about your story so people know where you're coming from. That'd be great.
Okay, so my name is Thais Domingues. I'm from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and I moved here to America in 2015. And in the beginning, I had no idea that I could go back to dental school. I was just trying to adapt myself, trying to understand how America works, everything going that way. But then what happened was that I met my husband, and then we started dating, and then we got married. That's when I started to have that dental idea back again in my mind. So then in 2018, I started to study for dental boards. Back then was still part 1 and 2. So I started to study. And the long story short, passed board 1, passed board 2. I did twice each one. Part 1 twice, I passed on the second, and part 2 again twice, I passed on the second time. And then TOEFL was the last one, which was not great at first. I got 90 on the first attempt. And then next one, I got 99. So then I say, okay, 99, I think I'm good. So let's apply. So that's when I applied for the schools. And then here I am 4 years later.
Yeah, it always takes a while. It's always I like that you're okay, 99, that's my score. Because that's what I hate when people keep on trying to do the same thing and expect different results. Okay, 99, that's my score. I accepted. Let's go. Let's get in with that. And you did. And that's awesome.
Of course, I would be happier over 100. But I think 99 was a pretty good to start applying.
Yeah, it's not necessary. There is kind of a checklist. It's good to have 100, but it's not necessary. You can get in with any score really, but not 50, not, there are limits too.
I believe over 90, it's okay. 80, 85, 90, have a lot of schools that accept already. So yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah. I like your attitude with that. And do you think that multiple attempts of boards affected your application in any way? Because I'm asking because I had a conversation today with somebody who had multiple attempts on boards, and he's still he passed NBD part 1, never passed part 2, but he never applied. Even though he has part 1 in his hands, he was so unconfident about it because he said he had multiple attempts. So he was thinking about other careers. Do you think it affected your application?
Not at all. I don't think. Not at all. I think actually when I only had part 1, I applied for 2 schools on the first year. I applied a little bit I wasn't sure, but I did. I wanted to try at least with part 1. But then I didn't get it because I didn't have the TOEFL yet back then when I applied with just board 1. But then when I had the 2 boards, but I don't think the number of attempts will change anything at all.
That's what I think too. Yeah, that's what I think too. Even though they see attempts, as long as you passed it, they see this is the outcome. I think it could be actually turned into a positive because I worked on myself. Do you know how hard this was for me to pass this? I feel you could actually pull it into something that would bring your application up. So that's awesome. So you applied twice. So you applied once for the first, not for reals, just kind of to try it out.
Just to see how it works, and the CAPIT application, which is a lot. So I wanted to see that. So then the second year that I applied on the first time was 2021, only part 1 and no TOEFL. So it was just let's see how it works.
Yeah.
And then a second time I applied in 2022, last year, and I applied for 4 schools. And for USC, here in California, I applied for 2, UCLA and USC, because I live in California. So USC, they require 100 on TOEFL, and I had 99, but I still wanted to try,
Yeah.
but I couldn't make it because I think it was a point of like
Yeah.
for them. So then right after that, UCLA called me, so it was okay. So I don't think it made any difference for the attempt of dental boards or TOEFL. I don't think. After all, I think they see your letters of recommendation. That's a big one. I believe, in my opinion, letters and your what you have done in your country and here in America. I think that's what makes maybe most the difference. I believe that. What do you think?
All right. I think I agree with you. I think they're really holistic. And you said the right thing about USC, because I feel like for more like brand name schools who really care about their statistics, like their stats, because they always report like the incoming class has the average GPA, the average TOEFL score, and they really have filters. Like they don't see the application. Even if you're 1 point below, they will not see your application. But that's not all schools. That's my point. It's only like those like UPenn, Michigan, USC. Very few people do that. So if you like have one score lower, it doesn't mean you shouldn't apply.
Yes,
that's correct with that too. And with the letters of recommendations, I think with the letters of recommendation, it kind of depends, because most letters of recommendations are really standard. Like they're just because foreign schools are not used to it, and it's normal for them to like print out a form and this is what everybody gets. So I feel like admissions committee like sees that a lot and they're used to it. But when they see something different, when they see like, okay, this letter of recommendation was really written by somebody who knows this person, I feel like that brings your application over the top, and that actually can make a difference.
I agree. Yes.
So my other question for you is, how many schools, so you said you applied to 4, so how many schools did actually invite you for an interview?
Actually, I applied, I live in California, so I wanted to be here, but I also applied USC, UCLA, I applied for Colorado and Tennessee. So what happened was, as soon as UCLA called me, Nashville was asking for a supplemental application, which I didn't do it. So I didn't finish the other requirements for the other 2 schools, Colorado and Nashville. I didn't finish because they require, after they invite you, you get the email, they ask you for supplemental application. They want more documents, more information. So I didn't finish because I was in UCLA already. So I only went to UCLA and I got the interview. And so as soon as I knew I was in, I forgot about the other one. So Colorado, or I'm probably gonna hear from them, let's say in July. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they're a little later.
I'm done, you know.
Yeah, I know. I was like that too. I totally get it. I got into OU and I had like I was gonna buy tickets. I was invited to USC like in 2 weeks. And as soon as I got my acceptance, I was like, okay, bye.
I know, exactly.
I'm not doing it anymore.
You don't want to keep doing it. So I actually, all I know is about UCLA because USC sent me an email, a rejection email, unfortunately, but I believe maybe because the TOEFL score or maybe some other reasons that I don't know, but they sent the rejection email. And next one I heard from was UCLA. It was December. And then Nashville came later in January asking for supplemental applications. And Colorado, I haven't heard yet. So all I know is UCLA.
I haven't heard from BU for a year after my application. I was like in Oklahoma studying for my exams, like half a year in school. And I get this email like, oh, we would like to invite you for an interview. And it was like May. And I applied in March of previous year. I'm like, okay, it's a must be a joke. They're pranking me. I think Colorado will be the same way. It's like, oh yeah, I applied at some schools, right?
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
You were like overwhelmed already, and then they come and invite. So yeah, that's all I can talk about. It's going to be UCLA because of that. But those are the ones I applied for.
Yeah. Well, the main reason of this meeting is the interviews. So we're trying to like figure out what interview is like, because whenever you like from a different country, you know, we don't really do that in my country, at least. Like you just kind of get accepted, but a lot of people don't even like know what the interview is like. So if you could share your experience with UCLA, that would be awesome.
Sure. Yeah. I got the email for the acceptance email in December 5th, the very beginning of December. And they said that they're gonna have an interview in person. So I was like getting ready to be there in person, plus bench test. We were supposed to have both. But then when it would be in January. No, it would be, yeah, January. Then when it got closer, they sent another email saying that it would be on Zoom. So we didn't have the bench test in person or the interview. It ended up being on Zoom meeting. So what happened was, it was around 25 minutes interview online, and there was two professors with us. One was the director of the program, and the other one was a restorative professor. So we had both personal interview and dental interview online. So the personal interview, they asked about my school in Brazil, how many years I studied in Brazil to graduate, which was 4. If I had a post-graduation, what kind, and it was restorative, so it was good that the professor was restorative. And they asked if I had rotations in Brazil. I didn't exactly knew what that was, rotation, because here they do rotation. I think that means that if we go through every clinic, every discipline on the clinic, right? And we had in Brazil. So yeah, they ask about the rotation, how many years. They also, and I remember when I had the interview, I had a lot of like post-its, the little notes around my computer, because I had no idea what they're gonna ask. So I look online what they could ask. So I made a lot of little notes around my computer, so I could like, whatever they ask, I have something written here.
Yeah.
So they ask, what else? They ask a lot about my dental school in Brazil, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting more like personal questions, because I was expecting, they also asked why I wanted to study at UCLA, if I knew UCLA, if I had any idea about the school. And I knew I have done my research about UCLA and USC, so I knew a little bit. And I said that UCLA is very known by the research area. They have a lot of research. They are known by having like, they have a good what is the word? When you say there's a school reputation, a good reputation school, they're a big name. So they ask why I wanted UCLA, why I wanted to study there, what I could add to the group if I was accepted, if I was chosen, what I could. And I graduated in 2000, so I have 23 years as a dentist. So I told them that I had experience.
Yeah.
I had not just dental experience, but also life experience, that this could add some to the group, right?
For sure.
Some I don't know, experience
Yeah.
in general. And then it was around 15 minutes on those questions about personal, including personal and dental. And then they started the dental. They had some cases to discuss. There was more 15 minutes of the cases. So they showed, they showed a case where the patient, they showed pictures, x-rays, and they asked questions. So they showed a picture with the patient missing the first molar, the mandibular first molar on the right side. And they asked me what kind of treatment I could offer to that patient.
Okay. All right.
And then we could say bridges or implants or this and that. And then we discussed the case a little bit. And then they asked questions about that case. And then I remember the next one was a prep for amalgam. And it was like a very bad prep. And he asked me what was wrong on that prep.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a bench test, but online bench test. Because we're not doing in person, but he was asking about those cases. So he showed the prep, the amalgam prep, what was wrong, what I could do to fix it. And they also, and there was another case, was a little bit, I think was a small class 5 composite, something small. So he started with a missing tooth, molar, and then they jumped to a amalgam prep, a bad one, what I could fix. And the last one was a small case of a class 5 composite.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was pretty much it because it wasn't that long. It was 25 to 30 minutes. It wasn't that long. So
All right.
but
I feel like a lot of schools do that now.
yeah, they're doing that like
That's
this.
common because Tufts does kind of the same thing. They also show you like a picture of a prep, and it's like a really like it's a bad prep. Like you look at it like, oh my goodness, what was that? You don't even have to like be a dentist to see it. This just looks weird. It's just kind of a tooth drilled out. But they ask you like, what's wrong with the prep? And I actually like that better than the traditional bench test because like, you can have a bad day. Everybody's worried. Like on my bench test in OU, it was so cold in the lab. I was literally, because I was wearing like a short sleeve scrubs, I was really shaking and my burr was shaking too. I could feel my loops shaking on my eyes. And it was, of course, affecting my prep. So it's not really like, it's not showing really well of my skills because, there's so many factors that could affect that. But when you actually there to discuss it, you can actually show your experience and you can show your other perspective of like, you can do this and you can do that. And you can start a conversation like, I had a case that worked out and didn't work out. And you can actually show how you could actually contribute, not just to, to actually drill and fill the tooth, but to consider like different treatment options. So I think that's awesome. I think that's such a good approach. And I hope more schools do that because after COVID, kind of a lot of schools moved towards Zoom interviews. Not many people switched back. So it's completely normal.
Yeah, they could have switched back at this point, but I think they like that idea, especially one factor is what you said, because many factors can affect you on that day. Even to be honest with you, even online, I was nervous. So like
it's a big deal.
I know it is a big deal. So I was trying to explain the case, but I have some moments when I miss the English word. I knew in Portuguese, but I was like, oh
exactly,
like trimming the tooth inside. I couldn't remember that word. And I said, oh my God. So there's even online, you're nervous and that could affect you. But I think it's less than in person because it's just discussing the case. You know what you're talking about, right? Usually because you're a dentist already, so you know. But I agree with you. Many schools could have be back on person, but they like the Zoom, like
the setting, just the setup
of the whole interview. And it's and a lot of people from international dentists, they are still leaving their countries, so it's a lot of work to come just for a bench test. So they in my class right now, I have people from Nigeria, from a lot of people from India and China. So I think it's easy on everyone, I believe. So
I know. And when people in their home countries, they like, you can be invited to an interview really quickly. Like if you're waitlisted, you can get an invite like, okay, your interview's in a week. And I'm in Nigeria. Like I need to get a plane ticket there. It's not easy. So I feel like it's much more convenient for schools too. You said you have like, how many people are in your class? Is it a big class?
It's 25 people in my class. I remember the first invite is for 60 people. And then 60 people go for the interview. And from those 60, they take 25. So during the interview, it's still like a lot of pressure because it's from 60, they take 25. So you're not
more
guaranteed.
Than half are gonna be separated.
More than half, but you're still not guaranteed anything. You still have to do good on the interview. And they don't show any emotion. It's like complete blank. Oh my God, I had no idea. People ask me, how did you do an interview? I have no idea because they're like, and they write down something.
I honestly think they're so bored because they do it all the time. It's like, oh my God, another one. They have to interview 60 people. That's probably just like, oh my God.
They're probably bored, but like, and they don't want to show emotions, I think, too, because they don't want people to have any hopes. I don't know.
And I feel like people relax, like when maybe they want to like make this stressful situation a little bit more stressful, so you kind of let yourself go a little bit, because when you start smiling and you're like, oh my goodness, it's so fun. And some people do that. I had very nice interviewers, but I feel like it makes you take it less seriously, like make you more relaxed, and they want to make it difficult for you. They really want this to be like a critical moment. So different people are different. I feel like you don't know which interview you'll get.
No, I'm not saying they're rude. They're not rude at all. They're very, very nice, but just serious. They don't. At least at UCLA, they were very serious. They don't smile. They just want to be serious. And but they were nice. They're asking nicely. They're like, it's not rude at all. That's not what I'm saying. And now that I know them better and they're working with them, I can see that it's probably just like
Yeah.
the way they act on your interview, because they're super nice people.
Yeah, I know. That was such a weird thing. In BU, there was an interviewer guy who's the nicest old man. He's so cute and he's so sweet. And he would come to an interview and he would ask, like, so I think you'll fail. He would look at, like, you have such a low GPA. We have such an amazing people applying here. I think you'll fail. I don't want to accept you because you will fail out tomorrow. And he would tell that to people to see what will their reaction be. And it's so, and when
Did
you
he say
actually
that to you?
Oh no,
Okay.
I was interviewing with completely different. But when I was interviewing, also super serious, also asked about my school, like, what was your school? But I was in Oklahoma and I told them, I'm in a different school. It's like, oh, we don't like taking people from other schools. I'm like, okay, great. So I'm out. So I was like relaxed because I didn't even take it seriously because, obviously you just told me you will not take me. So
Yeah.
let's just have a conversation. But I was accepted. I don't know how. I don't know how this happened.
That was your choice, right? You wanted Boston, right?
Oh, I'm from Boston. Yeah. And my
you're
husband's
living
from
there.
Boston. Yeah, I live here. Of course, I wanted to be closer to like his family so we don't have to travel as much. And Oklahoma's hot. Like Oklahoma's nice.
Really?
I love Oklahoma, but
Never been
I'm
there.
a northern person. I need snow. No, that was really tough.
Oh, but you ended up doing what, 6 months in Oklahoma?
Yeah, 6 months
Oh
I did like a boot camp. That's what we had in Oklahoma. So you have the boot camp now too, right?
Right now, it's 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell more about a boot camp in case people don't know?
Yeah, the boot camp, they call boot camp because it's like we're gonna be together with the domestic classes in September, and we get accepted in May 10. So from May to September, they say we have to learn in these few months what the domestic students learn in 2 years. So it's like an accelerated program for us in a few months to learn everything the domestic students learn in 2 years. So we have like a lot of projects in the lab. We have all the disciplines: endo, perio, oral systemic diseases, all the disciplines. And we have finals, we have projects in the lab, we have group projects, it's a lot happening in just 4 months. It's May, June, July, and August, ends in September 1st. So, and then in September 20th, we get combined with the third year of the school. So we do third and fourth year with them, with the domestic students. So in these 4 months, it's super accelerated. Everything's fast. Everything, like I have a test tomorrow. Literally, I have a test tomorrow for preventive. See, I'm right here studying for tomorrow. So, and then we have another test on Thursday, and we have lab, because they call lab because we're not seeing patients yet. We're only doing the mannequin and the typodonts. So before we start the lab, every lab we have a quiz, which is a small test, and it counts. So we have to have grades on that. So it's a lot per week. Every week something. Every week we have a test, a final, a project, and every week for this whole 4 months. So right now in California, it's a holiday today. That's why I'm here. So that's why I had this 1 hour to talk.
Oh my goodness.
And I was studying in the morning. So it's very intense program. I don't know if all schools have that or if they are different, but at UCLA we have those months. That's why they call boot camp, because it's super intense. We have all the disciplines, all the tests, all the projects, all the labs, everything going on at the same time. Like I'm here, I'm thinking about the test tomorrow, but I also have a quiz on Thursday, a quiz on Friday, and then it goes on.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, that's actually not every school has that, but I actually really like the boot camp. I think it's awesome because I feel like a lot of people get kind of scared away by this because they announce it as if it's like, oh, this is part of the admission. So you have to pass the boot camp and only then you will be accepted. But nobody ever gets everybody passes. Like nobody gets expelled. Everybody's gonna go through. But it makes it so much easier after, because then you join the class, and then you're just like flowing your way through the education because they have the program based on American students, and you don't have to have these extra tests. So it's only these like 6 months that are really intense. But unlike other programs that don't have the boot camp, and they have this intensity all the time because you have to catch up with every class. It's really different, and it's actually really awesome that you guys have that, because you will love your life after it's done. When you join the Americans, it's gonna feel like it's so quiet because it feels so chill.
Oh, I
So,
imagine.
yeah, it's gonna be better, I guess. I just told you, I think before we was recorded, I told you, oh, it's gonna be so bad, but I was wrong. No, with the boot camp, it's gonna be so much better.
Oh yeah, I hope, because no, I'm not complaining, and I actually like it. I really like it because in my case, a lot of people in my class are like newly graduated. They graduated 1 year ago, 2 years ago, but I graduated 20 years ago. So for me, it's like a complete review of everything. For me, it's great. I'm not complaining. It's just really intense because we have to study one thing, but in the back of your head, you have more things to study, and you're always like overwhelmed, let's say.
Yeah.
But I really like it. I'm not complaining at all. I really like it because to me, it's a big review. I like to see Endo again. Long time I didn't do Endo.
I know.
Yeah, and they shouldn't say that to us. They say now it's gonna be like this, but then later on, you guys are gonna feel more relaxed because you have done the work already. When you, and plus in September we go straight to clinic, which is gonna be even better. So all the didactic part we have done already. Of course, we still have finals, we still have to study, but less intense. So I think this boot camp will be pretty good. And 1 month has passed already, so I only have 2.5 now.
There we go. You're almost done.
Halfway go. Halfway done.
Well, you kind of already answered my question. I was gonna ask how you like it, and it sounds like you like it just fine, and you're very excited about it.
Yes, I am. It's very my classes in 25 people have 15 countries. So it's that experience is pretty interesting too, because we see the culture differences, and we learn from them, they learn from us. It's been a very very interesting experience overall, with like everything, the cultures and the intensity and everything, the review of the subjects. It's been okay so far. We haven't started the Endo lab yet. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a completely different bag of beans. So where are people from? You said 15 countries. Do you know which countries are they from?
We have people from Mexico. We have people from India. We have one more student from Brazil, me and one more. The Philippines, China, Taiwan, Dominican Republic, Iran, 2 from Iran, 1 from Dubai, and where else? I won't remember the 15, but Nigeria. Yeah. Who else? I think we have one. We have nobody from Europe. That's interesting. It's mostly
because Europe is awesome. They don't go to the US.
They don't, right?
So much more money. No, they don't.
That's so weird. I noticed
from
that.
Europe. We have people from Europe, including me. We had one girl from Italy who studied in England, and she was like, "I'm out of here." She's in it. She's back to Italy. She's like, "Why am I here? This is so bad."
She was in America, or she was in England?
She was in America. She was studying with me in BU, and she was like, "You know what?
She just left. She didn't finish the program.
No, she finished. She graduated, but she was like, European, like my salary was so much higher. I'm not gonna like, she paid out of pocket, so she didn't have student loans.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, because I noticed that in my class there's nobody from Europe. We have mostly from South America and from Asia. That's so interesting. In Africa, but that's interesting because I haven't I didn't know why. Now you told me they're good there, right?
It's nice. It's nice.
They're doing good in Europe.
Good, yeah. No, but that's why I asked, because a lot of schools are like more diversity oriented, and it's important for people from India and China, especially because there's so many applicants from those 2 countries.
Yes.
And the schools don't accept, they have a certain limit, and it sounds like UCLA is one of those schools, because otherwise the entire class would be from India or China or Asian countries.
Yeah.
So I think they have some kind of like a diversity requirement.
They do. They
sense.
have. I have a Brazilian friend doing the program in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's 11 students in her class, and she's the only Brazilian, and all the other ones are from India.
Yeah, that was
And
me in
from India
Oklahoma.
and her.
Yeah, that was all of them were Indians, and then it was me. It's like, hi.
Oh, your class
I don't
is
eat
the
spicy
same?
food. Yeah, it was really tough. But no, people were absolutely wonderful. I still have a lot of friends from there.
No,
but it's important for people who are applying to schools like this, because there's another factor for them to overcome, because they're just fighting for sheer number of spots. That is like they're the class is a certain size, but they only have this much of a chance. So that's good to know too. So the last question I think I'm going to ask you is, what's your favorite part about school? Like what is your absolute favorite part?
I believe my favorite part is literally to be back working as a dentist, because I was working as a dental assistant for 6 years. And I was, oh my God, I thought to be honest with you, I thought it was impossible to be back as a dentist here, because I graduated too long ago. So I think my favorite part is like holding a file and the file, and and holding the actual dentist instruments, not as an assistant. Because it's not that I didn't like the job, it was okay, but we want more, right? We were dentists in our countries.
Exactly.
So,
and we judge. I don't know about you, but I was working as an assistant. I was like, you know what? I do it better.
I could do differently. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. So, and also I think the environment of university, that's so cool. That's the environment, because I'm the oldest in my class, because I'm 45. And also my age, I thought, could be a problem, because I'm 45, and the average age of my class is like between 25 and maybe 29, 35, maybe tops, and I'm 45. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can adapt again to the university environment, but it's like, I love it. I love the environment. Everybody studying, everybody doing research, everybody like excited about going back to school, and like the young vibe.
It's fun. I know. I feel like it's actually a lot of people ask me about that. Oh, I'm older, I don't know if I can do it. No, like this is I think it's an advantage actually, because you walk into clinics when you're old. I was the youngest. I was second youngest. Well, to be completely honest, I was the second youngest in my class. And even now that I work as a dentist, I walk into the office and people are like, "Are you 16? Like, did you at least graduate high school?" I'm like, "No, I've been in dental field for 10 years now." But I feel like when you're actually older, people take you more seriously, and you take yourself more seriously, because you know why you need this. So it's just an advantage. That's what I think.
Yeah, I never felt any discrimination from anybody, either from the professors or from the students. Not at all. I feel super integrated. So yeah, I think I would say the best part for your question would be the environment, the university environment, because that's a young environment, and you feel like you can do it. You can make it.
Yeah, encouraging, like it's encouraging,
exactly. And we learn from the young too, like they learn from me, we learn. It's very cool. I really like it. I don't regret. Very good.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This was a very productive conversation. I feel like we like covered all the bases, and I don't want to hold you from the test. I know how stressful it is. I remember my own school, and I could not do anything but study. Like, if it's not done, it's not done. I have to finish it. I have to study. I have to like pass this test, and only then I can relax.
You mean when you were on the boot camp? That's what you're talking about?
No, when I was just in school in general.
Oh, because you graduated already, right? Last year. Yeah, you're done.
Yes, I did. I work now. Yay.
Nice.
I'm actually quitting my job in a month. Like, okay, it was too much. I was like, why did I do that? Was it worth it? Probably not. So I'm quitting.
No, but you know what? That's important to say, because we have those questions in our heads, because we it's a very overwhelming moment. And I have a child, So in my case, it's even more difficult because I need to plan every single day of my life, because I need to know where my child is, everything's going on. So sometimes we think that, oh my God, was this worth it? Is this really what I wanted in my life? And then you sleep on that, and next day you think, yes, let's go again.
Yeah.
Just one more day, just one more day. And before you know, it's just 2 years. So you can do it, you know. And
yeah, it's not that long. It flies
it's
by.
not that long. Yeah, it goes by, and every day when I feel like, oh my God, I have like this week I have 5 tests. It's fine. Week will pass. I will do it. I can make it. It's just like a matter of relax my mind and do it. You know, like
Yeah.
But we have those thoughts. That we're humans, right? We get overwhelmed. We get stressed out. We feel all this, but then there's always the next day.
I know. And then you can quit anytime. Just apply and then you can leave.
Yes. Yeah, I encourage everybody to apply, even with just now it's not just part 1. Now it's integrated, right? Board.
Yeah.
But I think people should try even to understand the process, and then next year or the next you apply for real. But you should understand the process, because it's not easy. Even the process is overwhelming before you get in. So they should apply to understand what's going on.
I think so too. Thank you so much for
No
spending
problem.
this time with me. I really appreciate
It was
it.
my pleasure.
Good luck
meeting
on your
you,
test.
talking to you. Thank you.
Good luck. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. You too. Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to Thais for being so kind and sharing her story with us. And if you want to help other students apply and share your story with me and be on my channel, email me on email that I'm going to put somewhere on the screen, or send me a message on Instagram, and we can set a Zoom meeting so you could be on my channel and share your story and help other applicants as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.